So then you join me down here at Shearwater for another 24-hour session. Obviously my last session was only just over a week ago, and wow, what a session that turned out to be. And as you'll probably be able to see in a few clips coming up, I'm actually in the same peg I was in last time, which I ended up in, as last time I made the mistake of not coming into this peg straight away, which was a shame. But anyways, we're starting in this peg this time. We're just wrapping up to the reps that I was fishing last time, which did me the bites. So fingers crossed we can get on it again this time, have some chunks, and hopefully land a new PB. So come on the carp, come on the carp gods, bring it on. I've just put 3 spoms out over an area which has done me bites before, so fingers crossed I can get a few bites. Gonna get those rods straight back out onto that spot. Fingers crossed for a fish or 2 tonight, and hopefully plenty tomorrow. Come on. So then I've just put out all 3 rods, 2 on one spot, 1 just down into that corner over there. I've actually had a knock on that rod in the corner, and sadly it did look as if the fish had spooked off of that. But anyways, I've just got my bait out nicely, 2 rods on the spot. Fingers crossed those fish will find that bait soon enough and we'll get a couple fish on this session. It's just a waiting game really. I am fishing in the shallows as it is going to warm up tomorrow, and this water is very warm just from today as the temperatures were very high today. So fingers crossed those fish are still up here, ready to feed, ready for a couple of bites before it's time to get into bed. But now it's just a waiting game. So come on Fredo, bring it on. So then it's come to that time of night again where I get myself down into bed and tuck myself away, hoping for a beast to lurk during the night. And hopefully exactly that happens. It has been fairly quiet. I did have one little pickup earlier on, but it spooked off the spot straight away. And then not too long ago actually, I was just sat outside of my chair and it was absolutely peaceful, no sound whatsoever. And as soon as I knew it, my right hand rod absolutely ripped off, sadly lifted into nothing, came back in with no bait on. But I'm really hoping that that isn't the last of the runs for tonight, and definitely not for tomorrow. If I don't get anything during tonight or early hours tomorrow, I'll be working very, very hard to hopefully get some of those fish. But anyways, gonna sort everything out, get my head down, and fingers crossed, catch a few fish. So come on the carp gods, bring it on. But anyways guys, good night from me. Hopefully I'll see you in the night with a fish. So then here it is, an absolute beautiful little common coming from the middle rod on a snide tackle Ronnie bundle using a Bailey's Baits God's Gift pop-up in yellow. Has done the trick. I did put a few spoms out yesterday with a mixture of Apex and God's Gift boilies, as well as some of the pellet, and obviously the fish have just noticed it, which I'm very happy about. That was the plan. As it warms up today, the fish will notice that baited spot and they get their heads down onto this stuff. So hopefully all goes to plan and I'll land a few more buttes. So come on the carp gods. Hopefully this is just one a minute. Come on. absolute brilliant start to the morning I had, landing a very beautiful little common from that baited spot, which I'm hoping in a few hours time, when that water's warmed up and it's warmed up in the air as well, the fish will be getting their heads down and feeding. So fingers crossed that will happen. It is really just a waiting game. I can see the fish are active, but I think just a little bit more warm weather, a little bit more heat will get these fish straight onto the feed, and that is what I'm hoping. Those fish will get on the feed, find that baited spot, and hopefully have a few chunks. So anyways, all we could do is hope, and fingers crossed, those fish come along. So then I could see the water murking up over that baited spot, and away we are, just trying to get the waders on, just to get this fish into the net, as you do have to wade out a little bit, because it is shallow water here. But happy days, I was hoping these fish would get onto this bait. As soon as it got a little bit warmer, done exactly that. This rod absolutely ripped off. Same rod as this morning. Happy days. Come on. Spot on. So then here we have it, fish number 2 off that baited spot again. God's gift, doing the magic on that Ronnie rig. And wow, what a beautiful little dark fish this is. Proper nice. Hopefully this was just getting the fish, just feeding there. It does look as if that water is getting a little bit more murky now. So fingers crossed we'll have a few bites from some of these beautiful little fish, and hopefully those bigger fish will come in too. One absolute battle that put up, and that tore off. Absolute crazy, but happy days. There's another fish. Hopefully a lot more to come. So come on a carp, gods. Bring it on. One last little look at this beauty. Let's get her back. So then, a rod that I just chucked out to some showing fish earlier on, it's just absolutely torn off. I was really not expecting that, but happy days. We're battling with another, hopefully, big, beautiful shearwater carp. Come on the carp, guys. They're getting on the munch now. Come on. So then, here is fish number 3, and what an absolute beautiful creature this is. And wow, that rod absolutely ripped off. Was not expecting that. Casting that to showing fish probably about an hour ago now, with a little mesh bag with a couple boilies in, and look, it's done the job. So happy days, proper happy with this one, and it does seem like they're getting bigger, so fingers crossed those big chunks come in like they did last time. So come on the carp, gods, bring it on. So then, after having that fish just now, I've realised the time and realised that now it's time to put a bit more bait out, especially as these fish are getting back on the feed, which I'm really happy about. Everything is coming to plan, so fingers crossed those bigger fish do come in, as is also planned. I'm just going to put a few more spoms out over my baited spot, and fingers crossed everything will go well. I've actually seen one fish show over the baited spot, so I know they're there, I know they're feeding, I'm just going to get a little bit more bait out, and hopefully we'll have a few chunks on the bank soon. Come on. So then, as I can see, the fish are fizzing up over that bait spot. 2 more spoms has got them proper feeding on it now. And hopefully we can get this beaut in. But yeah, as you can see, I've just had to run a little way. Not too far, but I was just speaking to the gent next door. But anyways, happy days. These fish are proper on it now. This warm water has got the fish on the feed. Hopefully, many more to come. So then another absolute little beautiful fish off of that baited spot again. And yeah, coming on that Ronnie was absolutely nailed. And also the God's Gift from Bailey's Bait is absolutely on fire. These fish are absolutely loving it. But wow, another fish. Come on. Hopefully those bigger ones are just around the corner. Come on. One absolute beautiful little fish this is. Get her back and hopefully she'll treat them with a couple nice big fish. Come on. So then I'm just switching over the bait on this rod. I was fishing Apex on this rod, but now I'm switching over to the God's Gift, which has done the bites for the other fish. So fingers crossed that'll bring in a few more fish, and hopefully these bigger fish will come out now. It does seem as if there's only a few fish dotted around and they're just picking up the bait as they swim past. As at the minute, I am just getting the smaller fish, and I mean there is a couple bubbles coming up on the spot at the minute, and also has been a few in the past hour or so. But I'm really hoping those bigger fish are around, and fingers crossed we'll get a few chunks. So come on the carp gods. Let's get to tying up this rig. So then just packing away, and my middle rod has absolutely torn off. It's been motionless for the past 4 or 5 hours. All of a sudden this rod is absolutely torn off. I was not expecting to be getting any more fish, so I'm packing up to go home, and I still have plenty of time left on the ticket, and now I'm wondering if I made a bad choice. But anyways, this feels like a decent fish, so I better focus on getting them in. Hopefully you'll see me in a minute landing an absolute chunk. Yeah, man. So then here it is. This is definitely the final fish of the session, unless one of the other rods rip off. But yet again, on that bait spot, on the Bailey's Baits God's Gift, Ronnie rig for the win. And yeah, I'm really happy with this session. I've had 5 beautiful fish. I did lose 2 early days, but anyways, I'm really happy with how this session's gone and ended with some absolute beauts. And this one is definitely the biggest of the bunch, but a very nice common again. Come on. So then we've come to the end of the session. What a brilliant little session this has been. 5 fish, absolute beautiful, amazing battles and amazing memories made. I've enjoyed this session so much, and I cannot wait to get back down here next month and hopefully next time land some of the bigger residents like I did before. So come on the carp gods. We're going to get this one back, and I'll see you on the next one.